He's not getting no Champions League team, bruv.
No,
Because everybody knows you got dead dinosaur tactics. No one don't want you because they know them tactics can't last over 38 games and plus whatever cup competitions as well. Like, behave yourself, bruv. But ST, we gotta move on. But listen, people, we'll find out what happens with Bottlegate. All I gotta say is, it's not coming home. It's not coming home.
It never was coming home.
It's not coming home again.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Knightz on the Roundtable Discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guy ST in the building. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, man, it's been a long time. Well, a bit of a long time. But, hey, listen. I'm happy today. So today is going to be a good talk. So, I'm saying.
Listen, listen. I can't wait. I've been waiting for it for a while, bro. But it's been a while, people. As I said, like sabbatical and all that. And listen, it is what it is. So these ones are going to be few and far between. I'm going to try and get the band them to jump on without me more so that we can get some stuff out to you every week. But we are back. I am excited to be back. We have missed you. I hope you've missed us as well. And yes, what did I say to you lot? I said to you, I will be back when England go out. And lo and behold, the time has come. England are out. So we are back to discuss everything about England and what is left of the World Cup. Footie Chat is back. We're going to be talking about England. We're going to be talking about the rest of the tournament. And we're going to be talking about somebody's GOAT that has been knocked out the tournament as well. But before we start, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the subscriptions up. And I say all the time, share. We are here. And don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. Right. So, people, England are out. Quarterfinal stage of the World Cup, losing 2-1 to France. Goals from Tchouaméni, a Harry Kane penalty. Giroud, well, no, it's not even gone down to Giroud. It's a Maguire own goal.
They've given an own goal.
Yeah. The fridge is a gift that keeps on giving, bruv. You know what I mean? And so France are through to the semi-final. England are out. But that's just the general aspect of that. We're going to unpack what actually happened in the game. And ST, people will say, and we're going to get into the controversy, but we just want to talk about the game as a whole first. People will say England played well. They couldn't have done any more. They went up against the world champions and they were unlucky in this game to lose. Do you share that consensus or do you come at it from a different perspective? Please do share.
No, I don't understand. Listen, for me, actually watching this game, and I'll be very honest here. England have shades of possession. Possession doesn't mean you're necessarily dominating the match because it was possession without making a lot of chances, if you understand what I mean. And the way I saw it is France started off pretty well, dominating the ball. Deservedly got their goals. A very good goal by Tchouaméni.
Oh, pinged it, bruv.
Really good goal. And for me, England kind of lacked creativity the whole match. And to be honest, for me, they played in their shell, you know what I mean? Like, the way I saw it, I saw that I have to give it to England's defense played well. Bellingham played well and Saka played well. But I don't think they played well as a team because I don't think they were creating a lot of chances, if you understand what I mean. Rice was getting overrun in the midfield because Griezmann was picking up pockets, dictating the play, which we both said in the group would be an issue. Would be an issue for England. And to be honest, I thought England did all right, but then we have to also consider that this France team is a very weak squad. They don't have Nkunku, Magnon, they don't have
Mm-hmm.
Pogba, Kante, Benzema,
Kimpembe.
Kimpembe, Hernandez, the other
Manigan,
Hernandez.
who is the
Yeah,
reserve goalkeeper, but
Rose
still.
goalkeeper, the best, probably the best goalkeeper in France and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But these are very, very important players and leaders.
All
as
starters, apart from the goalkeeper.
All starters. And yet England, with, let's be honest, is the deepest squad they've had for a long time. I don't think played to their strengths. They look like the inferior team to me, if I'm being very honest.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like France stuck to a game plan. They would dominate the ball when they had to. When they didn't need to, there was no pressure because there was no creativity. Because when you play three centre mids such as Rice, Henderson, and Bellingham, even though as good as Bellingham is, he doesn't have that creative spark. Not for someone like Griezmann who will pick up passes. It was very rigid. And then you have Rice, who does the basics, but he's not that sort of player. And then you had Henderson, who was having a disaster class. I was just laughing at him, like it was so bad. But no, I don't share the opinion that England were very unlucky. They weren't unlucky for me personally. I thought that even though France weren't at their best, they did enough to win for me personally.
Listen, it's a fair assessment. I want to slightly disagree with you a little bit. Don't get me wrong. First half, 100%, you're right. France dominated when they had to. Griezmann was literally running the show in the first half. Him and Dembele were linking up very well. Tchouaméni didn't really have. Tchouaméni was in the midfield doing what he does. Rabiot was bombing forward. The defense didn't really have much to do, although Upamecano looked very suspect. And who was it? Which Hernandez was it? Was it Theo that was playing?
I think
it was Theo Hernandez.
I think it might be Theo.
Yeah, I think it was Theo Hernandez.
Yeah,
it was Theo Hernandez that was playing. And you could see that Saka was causing him loads of problems on that side. So there were spells. Bellingham played well. He did a job box to box, but didn't really have influence in the game. You're 100% right. The creativity was not really there, especially in the first half. And France went in deservedly 1-0 up. In the second half, it changed. I think England dominated the ball, and I think they just went at France a lot more. Saka was getting in and just wreaking havoc. Harry Kane was picking up space. Obviously, I think Kane did get in the first half and had a shot.
I actually thought Kane, I thought he had a very good game, actually, Kane.
He had an all right game.
I didn't want to, and I think he's actually had the technical. Yeah.
I think that was his best game of the tournament, to be honest, because I think he's coasted through the tournament. I don't think he's been great in it at all. I think he's coasted through it, and he turned up in this game. So credit to him. And I think England were in the ascendancy. Kyle Walker did a very good job on Mbappe. You're not going to keep him quiet all the time. You're not. He's going to get past you in a couple of occasions, but for the whole game, he didn't really have any influence. That's why Henderson was brought in to help shut down the space. So I think England had a better second half, but people were saying, England couldn't have done any more. They played well. They could have. Because I think they were decent. I don't think they were great. And as you said, this is a France team missing 6 first-team players, right? So you're playing against the world champions, yes, but you're playing against the world champions that had half their first team. And I know the French squad is deep because they've got ballers deep. But at the same time, I'm just like, nah. You know what I mean? England, apart from missing Reece James, had no one missing. No. Apart from Reece James. So when you look at it from that standpoint, it's like it's a missed opportunity for England, especially seeing as, and I know they've played very well, and we'll talk about them a little bit later, but playing Morocco in the semi-final and with the potential to get into a World Cup final, they've missed the trick. And obviously they will feel that way. The media will feel that way. The pundits will feel that way, and they should do, because they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, of course.
And that is as positive as it's going to get for me about England, because let's unpack the controversy. Now, I'm going to go to you to the penalties. Obviously, England had 2 penalties. I'll talk about the referee after this, but England obviously had 2 penalties in the game. First one, Sugarcane put in, made it 1-1. Giroud scores and makes it 2-1. Then we come to the second penalty given where Hernandez just loses his head.
I was like, what
I was like,
doing?
what are you doing, bruv? And the referee didn't give it in the first instance, what I found weird.
Yeah.
But VAR, which is what VAR is for the clear and obvious errors, told him to look at the monitor, and penalty was given. Now, ST, people say Harry Kane is Mr. Reliable, which is true, doesn't really miss a lot of penalties. Can you just explain to me what was going through his head when he decided to send that ball to Timbuktu? Because I don't know. I don't know if he still thought he was doing the little promo vid that he did with Johnny Wilkinson a while ago. Yep. I don't know if he was auditioning for the NFL. I don't know if he was aiming for the rainbow, seeing that they couldn't wear the rainbow armband. He saw the rainbow up there, and that's what he was aiming for. Like, I don't know. So
I said he was aiming for the Lord. That's all.
Listen, well, his prayers weren't answered. His prayers weren't answered, bro. But like, just explain to me, like, how bad was that penalty miss, bro?
You know what? Yeah, I thought this would come into play as well, in a sense that, because especially the two penalties, Lloris and Kane, he would have saved it. He would have known exactly where Kane would have gone, but Kane would have just hit it with power. And I think that Lloris, in a way, won the mind games for me personally. Also, the pressure was too much. Kane did his best Asamoah Gyan impression. I think he did even work. Bro, the penalty was worse than his. You know?
At least Asamoah Gyan hit the crossbar.
It crossbar, bro. Bro, that penalty was terrible. Honestly, what it was, Kane tried to put it stanch. This is what he tried to do. I don't think he kind of had a feeling that Lloris guessed the right way, would guess the right way. That's what I think. And also the pressure of the situation. And you know the history of Tottenham.
It is the history of the Tottenham.
That's what it is.
Bro, it's mad. And listen, pressure can get to anybody. Listen, pressure can get to anybody. It's a massive stage. You have a chance to equalize. Obviously, you scored the first one, but I genuinely agree with you. I think Lloris being in goal had a big part to play. And also, he took the first one. So in his head, he's like, all right, cool. Do I go with the same thing or do I bluff and go the other way? And it was one of them ones where it just got in his head and he just tried to ras it into the top corner and he ended up putting it into row Z. And that's all she wrote, bruv, because that literally cost. And listen, don't get me wrong. There was no guarantee that if he scored that, England would have went on to win the game.
No.
But at the same time, it would have got you back into the game. And we've seen it. When teams manage to look at Croatia, when teams manage to get back into games, anything can happen in this World Cup. It's been a World Cup of shocks. So anything could happen if he did it. And unfortunately, he didn't put it in and England went out because of it. And I just want to address this, ST. Look, there's no comparison. There's no comparison between the two. Neither should happen, but it has to be said. And this is one of the big reasons why, bro, since I was a child, I could never support England, bro. And it's because you had three black brothers, Rashford, Sancho, and Saka, that all missed penalties. They were saved, by the way, in the Euros, in the final, right? And the amount of abuse that they got. Now, I'm not saying that Harry Kane should get abuse because no one should be getting any abuse. But this is the complete contrast and the hypocrisy of the British in this country, right? Because Harry Kane goes and misses a penalty. You haven't heard anything.
Nothing.
You have not heard. Yeah, go on.
The only thing that I've heard is from Arsenal fans.
From Arsenal fans.
That's all.
Yeah, but they're always going to troll because he's a Tottenham player. But there's nothing been said. No, none of the brigades have come out. No one's come and said this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And again, I'm not advocating it, but what I'm pointing out is the disparity between the two, right? This is why it is how it is. And this is why a lot of people who live here and all the countries around the world want to beat England because of their arrogance, their hypocrisy of situations. You want to dictate what people do, but yet still you're carrying on with nonsense in your own country. Like, get the hell out of here, bruv.
No, exactly.
Be serious. Be serious. And then we get our eyes open to the fact that Rashford is getting abused online. Like,
for no reason.
What?
For no reason.
Man's getting abused
when he's
for taking
yeah, go on.
For taking a free kick in the last second of the game and missing. Your great white hope just put the ball into Timbuktu. And yet still you have the cheek and the audacity to come out against Rashford, who took a free kick.
One of their best players.
Who's been one of your better players, who scored the free kick. I think it was against Wales.
Wales, yeah.
It was against Wales when he put it top bins. And this is the point, bro. This is the nonsense that these players have to put up with. And for what? Oh, so your great white hope is all right. He can miss as much as he wants. He just costed you, right, a massive chance of getting to a World Cup final.
Twice.
But, yeah.
People don't talk about when he should have passed to Sterling.
Exactly. Was that in the Euros or the World Cup or the Croatia game?
Croatia game.
The Croatia game in the semi-final. Yeah. Oh, and the amount of chances he missed in that game as well.
Yeah, nobody.
You know what I mean? But now Harry Kane can do no wrong, and that's what I'm saying. You lot get exactly what you fucking deserve.
That's exactly what I said. I laughed when England went out. I was laughing. I was cracking up, my friend. He's like, "Oh, but you support Ghana. Ghana are rubbish." I'm like, "Listen, Ghana's infrastructure is not as good as yours. I don't expect it. Listen, I'm not gassed. I know where Ghana are as a team, and even for Ghana to even be competing on the stage like you, that shows that, first of all, your country's a disgrace. Like, you have all the infrastructure, all the deepest squad, and you're still comparing yourself to someone like Ghana. And two,
go on.
And furthermore, you should be, if you see yourself, England see itself as such a big team, a team that's really, really strong, has all these players playing in the Premier League, supposedly the best league in the world. You should be able to dominate matches, like have the mentality, as you say, the mentality which you lot go on about to win these tournaments, but you don't. Why is that? We just have to question it.
Bro, because they haven't got the bottle. They haven't got the bottle, and they're just when you look at the players that they have are good enough to play better. I wouldn't say they're good enough because I still think the France squad is better than anybody else's. I still think that Brazil's squad is better than England's as well, personally. But they have a squad to compete, and they're not competing. They're coasting through because they're playing nobody. And as soon as they come up against a half-decent team, they are struggling. Like, people seem to forget that they drew with USA.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and these are the things, bro. These are the things. But just finally on the match before we move on to Southgate and people, the referee.
Oh, he was terrible.
See, now for me, I don't think he was that bad. I don't think he's as bad as they're making.
They're not making me bad. Yeah, I think he was terrible in the sense that he did make some funky decisions, but they're using it as the reason that England lost, which is not the truth. I'll be honest. Honestly, England should have had 3 penalties. However, it doesn't matter. Like, for me, you weren't playing well enough for you to even...
Listen, all right, let's break it down, because I don't think the referee had a bad game. He didn't have a great game, but he didn't have as bad a game as what he makes out. Because, bro, some of the refereeing that we see in the Premier League week in, week out was nowhere near as bad as that referee's performance in that game. So let's establish that straight away, right? So let's take the key, like, in the general, there was a couple fouls that he missed. Like, there was 1 or 2 I was like, raw. But all these the fouls that he missed would have had no influence on the game. And that is what I will say. The fouls that he missed would have had no influence on the game. The 2 crucial decisions were the foul on Saka, which for me is not. He needs to be stronger in that instance, right? For me, I don't think it's a foul. I think Peter Walton at the time that was working on ITV said it wasn't. But then I think Dermot Gallagher said it was, but no one listens to what he says. the pundits were screaming. I think he needs to be stronger there. I don't think there's enough contact. So that leads to, but the thing is, I still think there was like 25 seconds between. Remember, that happened in the corner of the France, the corner where the France goal was, and they ended up scoring. So I don't think that had any influence whatsoever. And I think he's too weak there. Now, the thing that you're talking about, the third penalty, nowhere near. And I'll tell you why. And this is what people need to understand and people need to realize. And this is how these pundits, right, and these commentators get into people's brains and tell them something that did not happen. I don't dispute that Harry Kane should have had a foul, but the contact started on the outside and the last contact was still on the outside. His foot was not on the line when the contact took place. That is what VAR said, and that is also what Peter Walton said, who was doing the game at the time that it was taking place. Whereas the pundits and the commentators are telling people his foot was on the line, so it should be a penalty. No, it was not. The foul took place outside of the penalty area, and as that happened, VAR cannot get involved and overturn it. Now, I don't dispute that's a howler that he missed there because he should have been blown for a free kick. And in that sense, you say you got a free kick out there, maybe something could have happened, but it was never a penalty because all the contact took place outside of the penalty area, right? Besides that, I don't think there was much issues. I think France didn't get some decisions themselves.
I was gonna make that point as well. Yeah, I was gonna say that he wasn't great for France as well.
Yeah,
so
France didn't get some decisions themselves. I think there was a couple of times where Mbappe went down.
It was crunch, and the referee said get up,
and the referee told him to get up. So I don't think he was great, but I don't think he is as bad.
Yeah, he's not as bad as
the English pundits are making out. But
the
fact of the matter is that they need an excuse.
Yeah,
they need an excuse as to why England didn't win.
Instead of blaming
the facts are your great white hope missed the penalty to bring you back into the game. And the other thing, so we can segue into it, is your manager is rubbish. Your manager is rubbish. Right? Now, ST, we've been calling out Bottlegate for ages, right? And people will turn around and say, right, there's nothing he could have done. People will say he took the team as far as they could go, and it wasn't his fault that Harry Kane missed a penalty. Now, I'm against all of that because, yes, there's nothing he could have done about Harry Kane missing the penalty. But as a manager, you don't just send the players out and say, go and play. Your in-game management, your tactical awareness, right, and your substitutions that influence games. Game management is what you're there for. You taking Sakharov was the dumbest thing you could have ever done. And then no disrespect to Sterling, and I hope his family is all right. I hope he's all right. But you don't bring on a man that's got so much on his plate right now.
At all.
The man's got so much on his plate right now. That shouldn't be your first change. Your first change should have been bringing on Rashford. That should have been I know eventually he did come on, but that should have been your first change. Right? But you don't bring Sakharov. Your second change, bro, what the hell are you bringing on Mason Mount for? For what? For what? People will say, oh, he won the penalty. That wasn't because Mason Mount won the penalty. It's because Hernandez is an idiot.
Stupid, yeah.
Because Hernandez is an idiot. Because apart from that, you didn't do nothing. Why would you bring him on? When you got man like Grealish, James Maddison on the bench. Like,
boy, if I'm Maddison, I'm looking at this. I'm like, man didn't touch pitch.
Man didn't touch the pitch. Man didn't touch the pitch, bro. Man didn't touch the pitch. You're trying to go for a game. You don't bring on your other centre forward.
Yeah.
You don't bring on your other centre forward to try and get the goal. Like,
and he brings them on so late as well, bro.
Like and yeah, he took too long to bring them on. I understand the Henderson thing because you worried about Mbappe, which is fair enough, bro. After 60 minutes, take that guy off and bring someone else on. And my whole thing is these are the things that you are judged on, right? These are the things. And once you go 2-1 down, as much as you're worried about Mbappe, especially because I can't remember what minute Kane missed the penalty, but in that instance, bro, you got to bring on Trent. Now, I am hypercritical of Trent. But in that instance, when you're trying to get back into a game,
you need him,
and you need someone to deliver, you bring him on just for that. Or if you don't, or if not, bring Trippier on.
at least, yeah.
Bring Trippier on at least.
Bring someone with decent quality on the ball.
So if you do get back in the game, at least you know you can rely on him in extra time. Do you know what I mean? These are the key components of what Southgate didn't do. And it's not the first time that his in-game management doesn't work. We've seen a succession of failures, bro. Look at the game against Croatia in the semi-final of the World Cup, right? Where they went up, he lost the battle in the midfield because they dominated the midfield, absolutely overran England, destroyed them, and he didn't know what to do. In the Euro final, same thing. Italy took over the game, controlled the game, dominated the midfield. He didn't know what to do. In this instance, England actually dominated the midfield. But the facts are, you made a dumb decision taking off your biggest threat, and you brought on no threat after. Yeah. And this is the point. And it's a half-baked France team. They were there for the taking. Upamecano was having a shocker of a game, bruv. But
I said this in the group. I thought personally he was doing okay, but the thing is, I was saying this. I was like, he has a reckless gene because he was mistiming some tackles. I was like, yeah, you know what? You need to get at him.
This is it, and they didn't, and I understand because when you think about it, ST, and I sat there and I thought about it because they're like, oh, England couldn't do no more, bro. Apart from obviously, I said Sugarcane got in the first half, Lloris made a save. I was like, apart from Bellingham's shot, right, and I think did Maguire hit the post with a header? Yeah, he hit the post. Yeah. Apart from that,
no chances.
I don't remember there being any other chances. So it's not as if they peppered Lloris and Lloris was stretching and scrambling, didn't know what to do. It was nothing like that at all. It was like, yeah, we had possession, but we couldn't really break teams down. And then you leave your Grealish, who probably could wins fastest fun, and James Maddison, probably your most creative player, and he doesn't touch the pitch.
I feel sorry for him.
Like, these are criminal offenses, bro. Criminal offenses.
Honestly, I can't believe.
And this is it for me. And too many times has this happened because we take the World Cup semi-final, Euro final, and this quarter-final out of it. Bro, I think he's beaten, in his tenure, I think he's beaten Netherlands once. I think he's beaten Germany, obviously, in the Euros. I think he's beaten Croatia a couple times. I think he's beaten Spain once and Belgium once.
But then these games are not all pressure games at all. These are nothing games.
Because the two pressure games that he played against Belgium in the World Cup, he lost them in the group stage and in the third and fourth playoff, right? Lost to Spain in the Nations League, lost to Holland in the Nations League. I think he drew 0-0 with Brazil, lost to France. Bro, anytime he comes up against decent opposition, bro, he falters and he fails. And I'm not, because I think when you look at other England managers' record, he's up there with some of the best. And I don't dispute the fact that he's taken England from the depths of hell, right, and brought them back up. And now these players believe that they can compete with the best nations. But bro, there's no tactics. There's no game management. And he just doesn't know what to do. And it was time to him to go from what happened in the Nations League where you get, how do you get relegated as a club manager and then get relegated as a national manager as well? Like, it's it don't make and you got relegated as a player as well. You know, only I'd love to see how many other managers have done that. And this guy's getting lauded for what he's done. Really? Like, as the truth said, bro. As the truth said, there's too many fraud managers in international football, and he is one of them. And it's time for him to bounce, bro.
I was gonna say, yeah, of course he's been, but the thing is, I've been calling for him to be sacked for time because I'm looking. Sometimes you can tell what a manager is. Let me get if he had done this. Let's say, this time he lost the game management once. You know what I mean? And I've seen him in game management win a lot of games, but all his tests, his major tests, he's failed. And people give him credit, but you need to understand this England squad is, at this moment in time, one of the best squads in the world at the moment.
Very
talented squad. So teams lower ranked teams, they're gonna beat anyway, just off ability. But when it comes to those pressure moments where the matches are gonna be very tight, you're gonna need to be tactics, and they're gonna be movement, and you need your manager to win you the game. Essentially, he doesn't have it. He simply doesn't, and he's proven not to have it. And this is not like this is not us being like reactionary. We've been saying this for a while because I think fans now, we need to look at football in the sense that look at the bigger picture. You need to see how your manager's decisions are affecting your team. And every decision that I've seen him make, or lack of decision that I've seen him make, they've not benefited. In fact, they've gotten worse. And the other team, the bigger team, has scored. And you know what the funniest thing is? People know what I think about Deschamps. Deschamps is a horrible manager.
Oh, he's dead food, bro. He's another one that needs to go. Bro, with the talent that he's got, he's so bad.
So bad. But the thing is, because his team are so talented, he got away with it. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like, a slightly better coach for someone like, let's say, Mancini. Mancini what he did to England, he would have noticed that because as you said, I do agree.
Mancini's dead as well.
He's better than them. At least Mancini.
He's dead, bro.
No, he's dead. He's dead, but he's better than them in the sense that he knew that when England were dominating the midfield, he changed something. Even Deschamps, I'm criticizing him because, as you said, I do agree with you in the sense that as much as Tchouaméni and Rabiot and Griezmann was playing, there was so much holes in the midfield in the sense that it was 2 versus 3 all the time. But in that sense, you could have capitalized on that, but Southgate didn't make the right decisions. That's why I would have put Madison on.
Because
you're dominating the possession. You've got that security with, let's say, Henderson or whoever we wanted to keep on, or Bellingham and let's say Rice. Them two can bounce off each other because they're decent playing footballers, but they can still bounce off each other. And you let Madison do the Griezmann thing.
Exactly.
That's basically what it is. Just do the Griezmann thing. And he's a bit, even though I think obviously Griezmann's world class, but Madison's technically, his IQ's up there. He's probably got one of the best IQs in the squad. And then obviously you got dead ball situations as well. This is what
and he was one of the informed players as well, bro.
Informed players.
I know he was injured, so it took time. Like, don't get me wrong, I know he was injured and stuff, but even if he wasn't, he still wouldn't have started for anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know what I mean? And this is it, bro. And so it moves on to the final point now, where obviously they're saying that Bottlegate is taking time to consider his future. Allegedly, man saying he wants to manage a Champions League team. But bro, obviously we both say that he needs to go, bro. Even if, bro, me personally, I want him to stay because as long as he stays England, that's happy days for me. Yeah. But if Bottlegate does leave, where's this Champions League team that he's managing, please? Because I'm interested to see who's gonna take him as their manager. Like,
somewhere in Serbia, what? Belgrade,
who, bruv? Who? Belgrade. Because, bro, we got our manager now in Ten Hag. We've got our manager, right? Obviously, Chelsea just taken on Graham Potter, who is a better manager than him.
Way better manager than
him. Obviously, City's got Pep. Liverpool got Klopp.
Arteta's a better manager than him.
It's Mike L is obviously a better manager than him.
Yeah.
Spurs have got Conte, but how long for? Maybe it might be Spurs. Maybe Spurs might. If Spurs take him on happy days, bro.
Spurs are going back to the Spurs of the man like. Them with the Holston, the Holston badge and them things there.
Bro, they're going back to them like one day Ramos days, bro.
Yeah.
Them days there, bro. They take him on.
Don't cuss my guy. Don't cuss my guy. My guy got them the Worthington Cup. Listen, Sevilla legend. You get me? Bad man manager.
But this is what I'm saying. And I'm like, no one in Europe's going to take him. So bro, where is this Champions League team that he's going to be managing, please? Like, behave yourself. Maybe like a West Ham. Maybe you can get Europa League or Conference League football. That's West Ham. No, but what I'm saying is, like, because obviously they're getting fed up of David Moyes, so I'm saying like maybe they might take him on, but I'm saying he's not getting no Champions League team, bruv. Everybody knows you've got dead dinosaur tactics. No one don't want you because they know them tactics can't last over 38 games and plus whatever cup competitions as well. Like, behave yourself, bruv. But ST, we gotta move on. But listen, people, we'll find out what happens with Bottlegate. All I gotta say is, it's not coming home. It's not coming home.
It never was coming home.
It's not coming home again. Oh, mate, bro, but we got to move on to, obviously, bruv, certain man's goat is home, bruv.
You see,
You know what I mean?
see the Lord. You see the Lord. You see what the Lord does. You know those people that are sinners, that are terrible people. Karma comes back to bite them. You see all the nonsense, the Piers Morgan interview. I'm focusing on Portugal. Focus on going home. And listen, you're jobless. I work. People know I work in the job center. Innit? I need to get man a job as well. You get me? Like he needs.
You know, like that, bro. Maybe he might come down. Maybe he might come down, bro, because he's unemployed right now.
He's unemployed.
He's unemployed right now, bro. Maybe still. And look. Let's put this into context, right? Portugal obviously out to Morocco. Morocco winning 1-0, getting through to their semi-final. Cristiano Ronaldo controversy. Who did they play before? What was the game before?
Switzerland.
Played Switzerland, absolutely dominated. Cristiano Ronaldo was dropped due to a bust up with the Portugal manager. So he was benched. Then is it Ramos? Yeah, Ramos comes on.
Yeah, Gonçalo Ramos.
Scores a hat trick. So if your man scores a hat trick, you're then not gonna drop him.
Bro, did you see his face? Did you see his face? He was vexed. He's like, I'm done. He's like, I'm done.
He's vexed, bruv. And then obviously, second game comes in. Morocco scores. I think he came on more or less after half time, and actually got put through on goal and hit the keeper. Portugal are now out of the World Cup, and obviously, people are predicting that this is his last one. Him being 38 in February. The next one comes round, he'll be 42. But him being him, he'll probably think he can still do it at 42 years old because apparently he can still play for a Champions League team. But bro, let's just call it what it is. You decided that you were gonna go on strike at United, right? You were gonna walk down tunnels in that and disrespect the team. Then you go on Piers Morgan, you do an interview. First part, you got people singing from your hymn sheet, saying this, that, and the other. And then the second part, you go and disrespect the manager for no reason. Talking about, you're putting me on for 2 minutes. As far as I'm concerned, you are employed by the club. The manager is the one that brings you on. You do as you are told. I do not care who you are, because a lot of these pundits are like, no one's bigger than the club. But then you're making him bigger than the club. It's the hypocrisy that I cannot stand, right? But then you decided to go on big Piers Morgan, talk about this, talk about that, saying, I'm focusing on Portugal, focusing on the World Cup, blah, blah, blah. And look what happened. The Lord said no. That's what happened. The Lord said no. You decided to sulk and violate the manager of Portugal, right? And man decided to put you in your place. Allegedly, ST, he was going to walk away from Portugal. Oh, so you were going to walk away from your country, were you? Yeah, is that what you were going to do? But we all know your PR team must have got onto you and said, bro, you can't walk away from your country. Because that's bad PR, because that basically shows that not only do you not care about Manchester United, but then you don't care about your country as well. Can't really do that.
Do you know what makes me laugh as well? That's ironically, Roy Keane, the same man who's defending him, did the same thing for Islanders.
This is why I don't listen to these guys. This is why I don't listen to these guys, because it's nonsense. But bro, he got what he deserved. You believe that you are better than everybody else, and you are the one. Nothing can happen to me. I'm untouchable, bro. Them untouchable days are long gone. Long gone. And don't get me wrong, ST, you know me. I'm not one of these guys that was like, when he came to United was when I started to dislike him. I never liked him when he was at United the first time. It's his attitude that I never liked, right? From even when he the Champions League final, all that, it's his attitude that I never liked. That's what I never liked about him. And don't get me wrong, listen, I respect the hustle. I respect that he worked hard because he wasn't the most talented. He was a talented footballer. He wasn't most talented. Remember, back then it was Quaresma. Quaresma was seen as the one that was going to be where Ronaldo is now. So I respect the hustle. I respect how hard he worked. I respect where he got himself to be all the trophies won. He goes down as in the top 10 of all time. Obviously, most people, he's probably in the top 3 all time. Me personally, he's in my top 10. He's not in my top 5. But I respect it. But bro, you need to read the room. You have to assess yourself and realize that you are not that player anymore. Right? I know you think you are the best. You're used to being the best, which is fair enough. And the thing is, the best will always believe that they're the best. But there comes a time where a realization has to happen. And you need to realize I'm not that guy that I once was. I still think I can do a job. I still think that I can compete in a team, but just not every game. Basically, this guy, obviously, he didn't get to the heights that he reached, but it's the same kind of stature in terms of the attitude, and that is Zlatan. Zlatan took upon the role at AC Milan and said, you know what? I'm not the guy that I once was, but I can still contribute to the team. When I need to come on, I will. In the dressing room, right? Trying to galvanize the squad, not tear it apart, because it's all about me. And Zlatan is the most shameless guy ever, bro. We know that, even though it's banter, but we know this. But bro, and that is the difference in mentality. And he got soaked. He got soaked, and now he's out of the World Cup. So there's no World Cup. The CPR7 fanboys, no World Cup for your goal, bro. No World Cup for your goal. He's not getting there. He's not getting there at all. And unfortunately, he's going out sad, bro. He's going out sad because no World Cup. He might play in the Euros. That'll probably be his last one. No one knows yet, right? And bro, no Champions League club is interested in you.
It's only the Saudi Arabian team that is interested.
Because and the thing is, obviously, no one was interested in the summer in the first place, bro. But now, a club that you played for twice, a club that you claim to love, and you went and turned your back on them, bro, clubs are going to be like, well, if you can do that to Man United, why the fuck do I want to employ you when you're not even at your best? Why would I want to do that? So this guy's going Saudi, or he's going back to Sporting Lisbon. That's it. Those are your options, bro. Those are your options. And the CPR7 fanboys can't take it, that his options are limited because he's not that guy no more.
And Sporting Lisbon is a Champions League club, but even that, I don't even know if they'll be able to pay his wages and stuff like that.
Bro, they won't be able to pay his wages. And do you see someone like that taking a pay cut? Yes, they'll take a pay cut, but bro, taking a certificate. Sport will be like, yeah, we can on the most, we can put you on this 200 grand a week. He ain't taking that.
No.
He ain't taking that, bro. And that is the difference between this guy and the guy in my background. Because he understands. He understands that he can't do what he once did. He understands that he's had to change and develop his game. And the fact of the matter is, this guy in my picture has got a more all-round game than CPR. CPR was all about his physical attributes. And the physical attributes aren't there, he can't do it because he was never a passer of a football. His football IQ, yes, it has to be, to get the amount of goals he did, it has to be there. But in terms of being in the game, because he was never a hold-up player. He was never a player that had a great movement or striker, but he was good at getting in behind and good aerially. And that's how he was able to transition from the wing to go into a centre forward. But unfortunately now, he hasn't got the IQ or the all-round game like Lionel has to change anything. So, bro, you humble yourself and you do whatever. You become a part of the squad, realize you're not going to play every single game, or you go outside like you've done, bro. It's as simple as that.
I mean, it's a shame because unlike you, I used to like Ronaldo so much for the simple fact is I liked his skills. I'm a winger myself, so looking at that sort of player, I was thinking, oh yeah, I like the tricks, I like the skills and stuff. But watching him, especially towards his later years in Real Madrid, start of Juventus, you can see the decline, and you can see how negatively, even in his pride, how negatively people won't go say this. They'll say I'm mad, but teams were not playing significantly better with him in the team. They were playing towards his strength. It wasn't in the fact that everybody was playing well. And now we're in the era where everybody has to work as a team to play. You can see who's floundering, who's still continuing, because the man in your picture is still playing very well, but he's probably dropped a bit deeper. He understands that he can't run as much as he can, so he's now creating a lot more. You have Modric. Modric is still playing at the highest level because of his football IQ. Other players like Zlatan, who acknowledge that he's not the same. he's gone into like a backroom staff role. You know,
Hmm?
a lot of players have done this and have accepted where they are. Rooney, for a certain time, accepted where he was
Mm-hmm.
when he was leaving. Like, yes, of course, you want to win, you want to be at the top, but sometimes accountability is very important. It's difficult for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to understand. Like, I admit, for example, even me, who hasn't played at the level he is, I played at a good level, not at the level he is. I understand that I'm not the player that I was in the sense of my physical attributes. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes what you do is you use your attributes and change. Or if you can't do that, you know, have a cameo. Because if he was, let's just say, if he was to accept that he would have a cameo, I wouldn't have a problem if he wasn't making too much noise. Because you know what? Like, at the end of the day, like last year, he does get goals. If you give him service, he will score. You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing I will tell him to do. But sometimes, because his ego is so big, and it disrupts the change room and stuff like that, and it disrupts management. Because look how he's come out. Like, honestly, like, he's going out really, really sad, and he hasn't been the same player for 5 years. And I think all these fanboys need to understand. Look at it from a core point of view, and this is coming from me, who used to love Ronaldo. Like I said, I always say I used to love Ronaldo. You didn't. You never liked him. I did. I understand where his game is. You have to look in the cold lights, analyze it, and say, listen, you're not the player you once was. You can't affect the team you once was. Either you take a back seat, come on for a few minutes, motivate the team, or you leave, because you're becoming destructive. And this is why I also say he's not a leader for me. Even in, he's only the captain of Portugal because he's
He's
the most.
Ronaldo.
He's Ronaldo.
Mm.
For me, the leaders that I see in that team are Pepe, Bernardo Silva,
Mm.
even Bruno. As much as I get onto Bruno, Bruno's a better leader than him.
Fair, Bruno had a good World Cup. He had a good
Bruno
World
had a
Cup.
very good World Cup.
He had a good World Cup, and as much as we criticize him, he had a good World Cup.
Yeah, and to be honest, he's gotten what he deserves.
Yep.
I doubt that anybody will. I don't think a Champions League team will sign him.
Nah.
For me, Saudis was the only way to go.
Yeah, and listen, take the money and go. Take the money
there's
and
no
go.
shame in that. We can't criticize you for not taking the money. At the end of the day, it's fine.
Bro, listen, he's contributed so much to the game, right? Right, he's the top goal scorer all the time, right?
Yeah.
We can forget about the Pele stats. Top scorer, goal scorer all the time. Man's got what, 5 Champions Leagues? Was it 4 or 5 Ballon d'Ors, bro? Like he's won the won the Euros. He's won the league title anywhere he's been. United, Madrid, Juve. He's won the league title wherever he's been. So no one disputes everything that you've done. And this is what the CR7 fanboys can't understand. We're not disrespecting his legacy. But the fact of the matter is, accept where you are, accept that you're not the player you once was, and accept that you're nowhere near as good as what you once was. That's what we want. Face reality. That's all it is. No one's disrespecting what he's achieved. There's respect there. Respect for what he's achieved. Respect for the hard work and the graft. Respect for having the mentality to win all that you have won. But it comes to a point where humble yourself. Your ego's too massive. You're not that guy no more. This is what we're saying. You're not that guy anymore. No. It's as simple as that. And this guy in my background, this is why this guy in my background, because of his overall game, but because of his mentality, is always going to be better than you. Always going to be better than you. And always will be better than you. And you're screwed if he goes on to win the World Cup. Because then there's no debate. There's no debate. Because he equaled your Euro win with the Copa America. So he's equaled that. If he goes and wins the World Cup, even though he's ahead of you already, he goes clear if he wins the World Cup, especially at the age that he's at. He goes clear. There's nothing you can say. But we'll see what happens with CPR7. ST, quickly, bro. Obviously, we've got the 2 semi-finals coming up. Argentina versus Croatia, and France versus Morocco. Obviously, Lionel still in the competition. Everyone thought, like, bro, he would probably go in out after that loss to Saudi Arabia, find himself in the semi-final against a very, very, very stubborn, tough Croatia team. How do you see that one going, bro?
Ooh, very tough.
With Modric, another great in the game.
That's what I'm saying. You know what it is, bro? I think Croatia's midfield is a lot better than Argentina's midfield. You see Kovacic, Modric,
Brozovic.
Brozovic, and Modric. They every game I've seen, barring the Brazil game, they've dominated. And even in the Brazil game, they were dominating parts of it as well. Their midfield is fantastic. But Messi, man, oh god, for me, Argentina have to win it in before penalties.
Yeah,
That's
they can't
basically
let what happened with Holland
No.
happen again.
No. And that's the thing. The thing is, it's hard. I think Argentina will win by a close match, but close, probably like a 1-0 ish, or like a 1-0 in extra time. But they have to be very careful because I do think Croatia have probably one of the best midfielders in the tournament, and they can dominate. And yeah, that's where I am at with them. But I do think Argentina. I think Messi will be the difference. But I have to shout out Modric, Brozovic, and Kovacic. They have been immense this tournament.
Bro, along with Perisic as well, bro. Along with Perisic as well. And this is it. With Croatia, everyone thought, their team's old, they're past it, blah, blah, blah. Bro, that experience that they have, and they're very well organized. This is how they've gotten to where they've gotten to. So I expect it to be a very tough game, but I'm just hoping Lionel can get through to it and get to another final, bro. And then we'll just see what happens there.
I'm just hoping his team turn up around him because
his teammates have to turn up around him.
Like the Enzo Fernandez is very good. Very good.
And
Alvarez,
the fact that he brought in Alvarez and dropped Lautaro Martinez, is massive as well.
Martinez is dead. I don't care about the penalty. He's dead.
He's dead food, bruv. But and France, Morocco, bro. Obviously, bro, that's politics in itself,
mad
bro.
politics. Hey,
that's politics in itself, bro. But let's kind of stick to the on-field, bruv, the football, bruv. Like, obviously, Morocco have only conceded an own goal in this tournament or some mad stat like that. So, bro, even though I expect France to win, the way how Morocco got a lot of talented footballers. They obviously know what they're doing. Again, another well-organized team, want to play on the counter-attack. Like, it's not going to be straightforward. And obviously, they kicked out Portugal in the last game. Who did it?
Spain.
And Spain before that. So they're on this giant killing. So
they topped the group with Belgium in it.
And that as well, yes.
Top the
group with Belgium in it as well. So, bro, it's all mad. Like,
and
that
Croatia
game could be anything.
Well,
that game could be anything. That's how mad it is. That game could be anything. How do you see that one going, bro?
Honestly, personally, I do think it's a step slightly too far. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's a step too far because I think that Griezmann is the danger. Other teams haven't had someone like Griezmann just picking up the little holes and creating. And I think a team like that, if they have someone like Griezmann, even though there are players that I have to shout out before. Amrabat has been fantastic this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Bono has always been a very good copy. I know him from Sevilla. It's just that he last year he won the Zamora Trophy, so basically the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets and the less goals.
Yeah. He's a very good goalkeeper.
Very good goalkeeper. He's always been good, and stuff like that. Ziyech has been fantastic, but those guys, I think that Griezmann for me is always the key, and I think that Mbappe, the defenders that he's going to be playing up against,
be Mbappe versus Hakimi. So obviously they're teammates.
Ooh, actually,
so
you know what?
Interesting.
Listen, Hakimi knows how he plays, and Hakimi's just as fast.
So it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting, and they like each other. They're actually really good friends. Really.
Is it?
Friends. They're very good friends. Yeah.
Thumbs up. Oh, friend. Oh, new friend.
Listen, look. It's going to be a mad one. These two semi-finals, unpredictable is what this World Cup is. Finally, bro. We didn't even mention, bro, Brazil going out.
But I'm so annoyed, bro. That was my. If you want to know, yeah, the group, the Knights of the Round Table Mandem, we did like a raffle, and we picked the teams who we thought were going to win the World Cup. I got first pick. I picked Brazil. They completely let me down. But to be honest, again, listen. These managers are dead as well, because Brazil, we were silly after that 1-0. We just scored. We need to shut up shop. We're trying to score again. 2-3-0, 6 people up front, and then Croatia did what they had to do. And after that, I said, yeah, it's done.
Bro, obviously Brazil was one of the favorites to win the tournament, and with the amount of talent that they had, the amount of ballers that they had, bro, how do you go, bro? You can't go out like that. No. You cannot. And obviously, since then, the manager has stepped down.
Oh, he stepped down after the match straight away. He said,
"Yeah, he had to.
Yeah, he said, "No, I'm dead."
But ST, like, where did Brazil go from here, bro? Because all right, fair enough. You may have the opportunity to win the Copa America, but in 4 years' time, that'll make Neymar 32, 33.
Yeah.
Obviously, they still got a lot of young talent. Obviously, Vinicius is young, Rodrigo, Anthony, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus is young. But obviously, you look at Casemiro, he's going to be like 34.
And they're going to need him.
Thiago Silva's going to be done as well. I think Marquinhos will be 33, 34.
No, Marquinhos is still relatively young.
I think he's 28 now, so he'll probably be 32.
Yeah.
Probably 32, so that'll probably be his last one. But when you look at all these players, bro, by the time they get to the US one in 2026, it's going to be a transitional period. So, Brazil, it's in a sticky situation. I still expect them, bro. The talent that they have, that is still mad. But, bro, they got it all wrong in that game. All wrong. They were awful all game. And
yeah, they were.
And it's one of them ones where, like, again, they failed. I think because the last time they won it was 2002, right?
Yes.
Yeah, bro, that's too young. That's too long for Brazil.
Yeah, way too long for Brazil.
That's too long for Brazil to be winning a World Cup, bro. Yeah, because 06 was Italy, innit? Yeah.
2010 was
Spain, yeah. 14 was Germany. Yeah, and then 18 was France. Yeah. Bro, that's too long for them not to win a World Cup, bro. So Brazil need to pull their finger out and sort it out. But listen, ST, we need to wrap up there. People, let us know what you think in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the England game. Do you think they played well? Do you think there's anything that could be done differently? Let us know what you think about Gareth Southgate. Should he stay? Should he go? Do you think he's going to get a Premier League team? Let us know what you think about Cristiano Ronaldo. Is it time for him to retire from international football? Where is he going to end up next? Do you think it was disrespectful of him to disrespect the manager? Let us know what you think about the semi-final games as well. Argentina, Croatia, who you got winning that? France, Morocco, who you got winning that? Listen, we want to hear from you. And as usual, before we go, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. As I say at the time, tell a friend to tell a friend. Share. We are here. And don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. I want to say thank you very much, bro, to my guy, ST. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you very much, sir.
No, thank you, man. It's good chopping it up, man. We need to do this more often, but obviously sabbaticals and stuff like that.
Sabbaticals and stuff like that, bro. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try and do a thing, bro. We're gonna try and do. Lottery's winning soon, bro, so I can get my own space, and then we can chop this up back to normal ways, bro. But listen, it's been a pleasure as always, bro. People coming up, as I said, we may do a preview for the World Cup final. That's TBC. If we don't, then the week after we will be 100% back for the Christmas show, where we'll be reviewing the World Cup after the final and previewing the Premier League coming back as well. And then it will be into the new year. But make sure you watch this space. But people, it's been a pleasure as usual. Make sure to stay safe in these Antarctic conditions out here in England, bro. Like, it's a mad thing out here. So make sure you lot stay safe. And people, as I said, it's not coming home. It's not coming home. Again. Peace.